Hi my dear friends, I hope you are doing good and I hope that all of you are safe and sound wherever you are. So my dear friends, in the last few days I have been watching a lot of videos on YouTube in which there are many people who are suggesting that if you are not able to come to Canada on a PR because of the high CRS scores and the draws being not conducted on a regular basis, they are suggesting that why don't you take up a study course, come to Canada, get a PGWP like a postgraduate work permit, start working and get Canadian experience and then apply for a PR. This seems like a lucrative option, but I feel that they are not showing both the sides in the proper way. I mean, they are just showing that the grass is greener on the other side. They are not talking about all the different challenges, the different hurdles that you need to overtake in order to successfully study in Canada and then get a work permit and then eventually apply for PR and settle in Canada. So guys, in this video, I'll stick to giving equal consideration to both the sides and giving my honest opinion on whether you should consider studying in Canada if you are not able to get a PR by express entry or PNP. So guys, without further ado, let's just jump into the topic. Studying in Canada seems like a lucrative option for those of my friends who have crossed the age of 30 and those who don't have a master's degree, they just have a bachelor's degree as their highest degree. And for those of my friends who are not able to get the desired CRS scores, and with CRS in the range of 470s these days, there are many people who won't be able to get there, to be honest. So for those people, studying in Canada seems to be the best way, but there are certain points that I would like to make in this video. So I would request you all to please watch the video till the end in order to better understand what I'm trying to tell. Just a disclaimer from my side that I do not intend to discourage anyone who is planning on taking up higher education in Canada. In fact, I am one of those people who believe that there is no wrong time if you want to start learning something new. So if basically you are passionate about having a higher education in life, just go ahead and get it. But for those of my friends who feel that studying in Canada at this point in time will guarantee you a PR or is a easier way to get you in Canada, my friends, this option is not worth it. So in this video, we'll discuss all of that. If your goal is to settle in Canada permanently, then my first suggestion to you all would be that you should try hard for either PNP or express entry because both of these options are comparatively faster and cheaper as compared to study. So guys, study option, either you have to go for 1 year postgraduate diploma course or maybe a 2 years master course. Both of them would be considerably much more expensive as compared to express entry or PNP combined. So my dear friends, I don't know about many of you, but personally speaking, I would not be able to get back into that study mode after having 10 years of work experience. So basically all of my friends who are in the age range of 32, 33, 34 or on the higher side, after so many years of having work experience, after having your family, I think it will be very difficult, especially for me, to get back into that study mode. Now there are many videos in which they were telling that if one of the partners goes for a higher education, the spouse can get open work permit easily. Guys, this is true, but let me tell you that getting an open work permit also has its own set of challenges. There are high number of rejections in open work permit as well. Guys, consider like this: you apply for a visitor's visa to Canada, you have all the documents, you have everything in place, but still your visitor's visa may get denied. There is no explanation, there is no specific reason or anything as such. It may get accepted, it may get rejected. So in the same way, when you apply for your open work permit, there are equal chances that even though you have a strong profile, you have everything in place, but still the open work permit application may get rejected. In these videos, many of the people were also telling that if you do a 1 year postgraduate diploma course, you will be getting 1.5 year postgraduate work permit. If you do a 2 year master course, you will be getting 3 years postgraduate work permit. Guys, this is true, but again, there are certain other factors that are taken into consideration before the visa officer approves your postgraduate work permit. Those are, the course that you undergo should be a full-time course. Part-time courses are not permitted for postgraduate work permit. There should not be enough gap in your studies And if you have any gap because of the teacher strike or whatever happens, that needs to be justified to IRCC by you. If IRCC does not receive that justification, or if they feel that that justification is not relevant, then your work permit may get cancelled or rejected at all. The third is you have studied a course from a college which is not eligible for postgraduate work permit, or if you have unauthorized work on your file. So basically, as an international student, you are permitted only to work for 20 hours a week. If you exceed that, or if you are working when you are not enrolled in a school, all those things are counted towards unauthorized work, and they are reasons for getting your postgraduate work permit refused. Now, there are many people who also claim that you have to enroll in a 2-year master degree course, but you can choose to accelerate the pace of the course and complete the 2-year course in maybe say 1 or 1.5 years. So basically, you take in more credits, you study harder, you give more exams in a shorter span of time, and cover the entire course of 2 years in maybe 1 or 1.5 years. So the idea basically is to complete the course fast, you save on the living expenses, and you can apply for the postgraduate work permit earlier and start working sooner. So this idea makes sense, it's perfectly fine. But guys, let me also tell you that if you complete a 2-year course in a lesser duration, and if you think you can claim a 3-year postgraduate work permit because you have done a 2-year course, then my friends, there is a big mismatch in this. IRCC clearly states that if you accelerate the pace of your course and try to complete the course in a sooner date than anticipated, then your work permit will not be granted for the entire duration of the course. So basically, the time taken for you to complete your course will be counted as the course duration. Say for example, you have taken a course of 2 years, but you completed it in 1 year. So your course duration will be 1 year, not 2 years. Because of COVID-19, many universities have started their courses online. So here is what they do. Say suppose you are in India and you have enrolled for a 2 years master's degree course from a Canadian university. So 50% of the course, say for example 1 year, you will be doing it online from your home country. You are not expected to come to Canada in order to do the course. You can do it from the comfort of your home, in your home country. For the second half of the course, like the next 1 year, the second year, you are expected to come to Canada and attend the course in person. So guys, technically this is a 2-year course, but out of these 2 years, you have been in Canada only for 1 year. So this may create some problems when you are trying to apply for a 3-year postgraduate work permit. Guys, the government has not told anything about how the PGWP work permit duration will be calculated in such cases. But guys, it's not too hard to imagine that when you are not in Canada for the particular course, you will be still getting 3-year postgraduate work permit. So guys, but again, the government has not told anything. This is a point which I am thinking could be a possibility in coming future. Guys, it's a fact that international students fund universities, and it requires no explanation that even Canadian universities highly depend on the international students in order to get their fund, correct? However, because of COVID-19, there is decline in the number of international students coming to Canada, and because of this, the universities have no other choice but to increase the tuition fees for international students. And guys, from summer 2020 and for next year like 2020 and 2021, most of the Canadian universities have hiked their tuition fees for international students. Depending on course, the fees would be increased from 3% to 15%. So if you are planning to come to Canada in near future for higher studies, you should also consider this point that the tuition fees would be slightly expensive. So my friends, as an international student, it is expected that you show proficiency in English language by giving either IELTS test or any other English language test. So for higher education, it is expected that you will be giving IELTS academic test. So for those of my friends who are struggling with IELTS general test, they are not able to crack IELTS general test, my friends, IELTS academic test would be at a higher level of difficulty. So if you're struggling with IELTS general, then trust me, IELTS academic also would be one notch higher. So if you're thinking that getting through a study route is an easy way to Canada, then also remember that you have to crack IELTS academic and not IELTS general. Guys, I personally feel that people who really want to study in Canada must be given opportunity to do so. If you are under the assumption that studying in Canada will sure shot land you a PR, guys, please do think about it. And once again, I personally feel that you should not be occupying a university seat unnecessarily, and because of you, a deserving candidate, a deserving student is not given admission. This is completely wrong. Once again, guys, let me tell you that I do not intend to discourage anyone who wants to take up higher education in Canada. If you feel that you are passionate enough and you really need a higher education to boost up your career, then please go ahead and get one. Otherwise, my sincere request to all of you is please spare a thought for others who really want and are really deserving to get higher education in Canada. So guys, with this I end this particular video. I hope you all like the contents of it, and I hope that all of you remain safe and sound wherever you are in this pandemic times. And guys, please do not hesitate to share this video with your friends, family and relatives, and with all of them who are planning to come to Canada. And also I would request you all to please suggest us videos, video topics of what you want to see on our channel, and we will try to incorporate those in our future upcoming videos. So with this I say goodbye and take care. Bye.